another video. In today's video, I could have turned the camera on a long time ago. I built myself a standing desk here. This is my old desk from my container. So I bought some Amazon standing desks set up here. It was a little funky. It came with a extra part that was kind of weird, so I only needed 2 of these. No instructions at all. So, and then these bolts, like there's no holes drilled in that, which kind of makes sense because that's adjustable. But you'd figure these would be, a little shorter because this is just locking that in place, I guess. It works. I'm not going to use it down. I'm just going to stay up. I don't put it down. So, it was very inexpensive. Super quality. Alright, so, this mess. Number 1, this is my bracket for my monitor. It's just a little bit too big for this situation here. So, oh, and I forgot to turn on my better audio, so sorry about the audio. I have leftover parts. This is cable management. So all that stuff, PC parts, this is all the zip tie kit. This is what I call adhesive kit. So there's like all the different stuff in there, right? So this is just stuff I have, bunch of Velcro. So, phew, chemical smell that comes out of those when you open them is pretty gnarly. I have a bunch of screws and parts. All this stuff's left over from the build on this. So what I'm basically trying to do is trying to have this that's not installed yet, but it's going to be installed and it's going to be a mess. But I'm going to try to use stuff I have to do cable management. And I have this here, which is a giant hunk of plastic, basically, that I bought for a project. So I'm going to use this to make my top of my desk big enough for the monitor. And I'm going to secure that to this little riser thing that I've got here that just makes the desk a little better because it just gives it a little more, gets the monitors up. You can put cords and stuff underneath. So I kind of like this thing here. So it's just the cords. Now the one thing I do, I had this before. I used 2-sided tape to put it up under here, and it just fell. Like there's not enough room because there's this gizmo right here that connects this, because these things this came in a little box. It's amazing how they pack this stuff down. But it's basically all those parts, so you gotta put these little brackets. So I couldn't get this to be flat enough to get up under there. So this is, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. This just makes having the PC, which is, just has the I/O right there. It makes it easier, just to dump cards or plug whatever in rather than coming over here to the PC and plugging something in that way, using like a dongle or something like that. So that's all what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to make that bigger for the monitor. I'm trying to mount this underneath here. I'm trying to route all the wires in a manner that doesn't look freaking horrible. So that's what we're doing. Check it out. All right, this is what I got going on for this solution. And I think it's going to work. But how am I going to fix this to this? Well, I think I'm going to use, well, actually I'm going back and forth between two-sided tape and Velcro. See, if I use Velcro, then I can just easily take it off. But if I use Velcro, it's going to kind of be maybe a little uneven, possibly. I don't know. I guess 2 big long strips of Velcro like this would probably make everything equal. So, because I'm kind of trying to put this together in such a way that it can come apart. I mean, I literally moved this piece of thing, and there was a sliding drawer under here that I used to have for my keyboard that I couldn't fit under there. And honestly, it was so floppy. I mean, it was a really good one, but it was floppy, so it wasn't that good for typing, to be honest. But I like reusing stuff, right? So I can, if I put this all together in a way that it can come back apart, which this all can come back apart, no problem. What I did here is I put inserts up in there. So all these have threaded inserts like these, because these are my threaded inserts for that sliding out keyboard holder that I was talking about. So I did the same thing, so all that can easily come apart, break down, and be packed up, right? Which is kind of nice. So everything I'm doing here kind of needs to follow that same kind of theory. So if I did like use two-sided tape on this, then that would be it. It wouldn't be easily removable. So I think we're gonna go for the Velcro and put a $1,000 monitor on Velcro. Okay, I'm happy with this. Unless it fails, and then I'll be sad because my $1,000 monitor will go boom. But I feel like it's probably not going to go boom. We have a little extra room there. Basically just trying to have like a little deeper. I think that's pretty much where I used to have it. Maybe not even that far back, but boom. So now, this little guy here, and what this does is, it's going to go up in here like so. Alright, well that's all fine and good, but the problem is this little beam bar thing, connector bar is holding them from, so I need a wedge. Some wedge action to be able to, because that two-sided tape should work. If I can get enough two-sided tape on it, then it'll stay there. But I need to get a wedge. A wedge is needed. I don't have any wedge material. Plastic wedge would be ideal. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get a plastic wedge. I might have to use a wood wedge or wood wedges. So that means going to the hardware store, Home Depot, Mikasa. But the next step is to put some kind of system on here for stuff to be affixed to. So what I'm thinking is I got these pieces of 80-20 extrusion. So if I make a long piece by connecting these by their ends with some end bracket stuff that I'm pretty sure I have, and then putting a little drop down, I can put a row of this stuff across the back of here. So with that, then if this is just like here, right, then I can zip tie stuff right to that. So I think I'm already pretty figured out on this. I don't know if I have all the hardware I need though. That's going to be the question. This is what I came up with out of my scrap container, and it's actually pretty sturdy. So these are longer than I wish they were probably about like that long right there. But I don't wish that as much as I don't want to dig out a saw to cut that with. So it's going to be just fine. I'm going to try to mount power supply, power, whatever this is thing, power strip. I'm going to try to mount it with Velcro. Okay, so now sticking to the same theme, I'm looking at, okay, I'm going to put it up under here, right? But it's like, well, at this configuration, in this place, I'm going to want this over here. But the place I just came from, where I lived for, had it set up for a while, a few years or whatever, it was on the other side. Well, what if I want to move this? I might as well just install this entire piece of, and this is the part you put to your table that you pack, right? Because you'll be able to wrap the table up. Now the screws I have for this are the sketchiest thing. What I prefer to do is put in countersunk these things again, these little gizmos. That's what I'd prefer, but I don't have the right ones or enough. So these screws, look at these little screws they put into, this is what they wanted you to put the desktop in with, right? So this little screw was going to hold no, but 4 of those are going to hold that. And you know, this screw is so small, if it actually causes a problem, then when I fix the problem with the proper insert gizmo, it'll clean up whatever mess these made. Okay, I'm very happy with how much I've gotten done without spending any money. And if I had a 3D printer, that would be how I would solve this problem. But this is actually really solid. I don't want to reef on it, but I mean, it's on there. It's going to hold whatever I zip tie to it without any problems. Here's what it looks like when I start to get busy on stuff. It's an absolute cluttered mess. So this is day 3. Day 1, I didn't film because basically I got out of bed and just worked all day without like taking a shower or anything. So I kind of looked scruffy. So I didn't even think about filming. Look, I got piles over here on the couch. I got piles. Okay, so piles and piles of tools and stuff. I'm pretty happy with the way this is going. So this is what I found at Home Depot. 2 of these bad boys. There we go. So they actually have a little fall, more drastic fall off at the tip than they do. So I'm going to cut them back to probably here. So I have this piece here as the end piece to give me as much connection with the tape as possible. I'm hoping this little rim and these little ribs are going to be enough to support this thing. When I put this up, I actually used 2-sided tape on those also, because why not? I mean, it's like it's glued and screwed now, and I didn't have to, you know, put any glue on it. I just put these little strips I had, and so, yeah, this is actually really steady. And then I was here last night, and I bumped it, and it actually started to tip over. So, I do not like having this thing away from a wall, but I got no walls in here. The only wall would be that, but I don't want, I mean, that sun comes through there, and it will melt stuff. All right, what do I have for 2-sided tape in my 2-sided tape? And so I got some little end pieces, some basic stuff. I've got a roll of weak and strong. I've got pad type action. And then I've got a ginormous roll. Is this the same size as this? Is that bigger? Oh, they're stuck. Come off. That's the same size there. I do like these pads though. But in this case, I'm going to try to get as solid pieces as possible, which this is, do I have a skinnier one here? Just more of the wide stuff. This is extreme mounting tape from Scotch, and this is just normal. So we got this side here, which goes to here. So that is a smaller, so that's perfect for this. I think I'm definitely going to start with the extreme. I wonder if this is extreme here. Yes, this is extreme also. So we're just going for the extreme. Now, if you're not doing this when you're two-sided taping, if you're not wiping everything down with alcohol before you do it, you're like setting yourself up for failure. This is like standard operating procedure for using two-sided tape. Like, if you want the best results, this is not a paid advertisement for isopropyl alcohol. All right, there it is. And this dock is really what makes using a PC that's built like this more usable. Because if I have to go over here and get down and plug in my whatever to do whatever, it's a whole, where do you put stuff? Where do you set, where's it got, this is just boom, boom, boom. And this is just more, this USB-C isn't a high data. So for whatever reason, this is like a 3.2 USB capped. So that's why I added this USB-C hub ahead of this. That way I have all my high-speed USB-C I need as well. And I just moved this from one side to the other. And this thing actually twisted, so it's not on there like perfectly. But it would be a 3D printing project. And if I was going to do a 3D printing project with this, which I would like to, I might even stick this part like over here and kind of try to integrate this somehow. I don't know. But this is what really makes just doing anything with the computer from the desk 1,000 times easier. So this was a key part of this whole entire build. Kind of a midway point. I've started running into, well, I need one thing, so then of course I'm just going to add something I want, which the one thing I need is an extension for this monitor. So to get this monitor all the way down there, I don't have the cords for that, so I got a few options of how I'm going to do it. See if I can get what I can get, how I can do it. So this is all pretty much the way it's going to be laid out. This seems to be working pretty good. It's just not falling, which is nice. Full disclosure, this thing actually fell right when I plugged it in. So I plugged it into, not this cord, but the cord that it gets plugged into, and the weight pulled it down. So that's when I put a clamp on it, because there's probably like a 24-hour cure time on that. But yeah, and it failed in opposite ways. So it failed, like one side failed one way, the other side failed the other way. So, and then what I decided, the thing I want is just the another hub to undo that wire from poking out like that. So I'll just have another hub back there that takes this and runs it over. That's the thing I'm adding, since I have to go get a long cord anyway. Now, if you haven't seen this PC, there's a whole video, a couple videos about it. This is the world's first PC case made from a Milwaukee ProArt. And so, yeah, this is just all like extruded aluminum kind of setup. It's all pretty high-end stuff. It's a 12th gen Intel i9. That's a 4090. So I did some pretty cool stuff with the taking out the socket and then replace the socket with this other thing. So the thermals on this thing are really awesome, and it just does great. But this thing, I dropped that thing in the move, and that broke apart. And I always wanted to, because this is aluminum, right? And this is a magnet system. So I always wanted to just replace this aluminum with a steel that I have cut in a water jet, instead of having this aluminum and then magnets stuck to this and then magnets on that. Like, I would just need this to be steel, and then the magnets would just hold it. Right now, the magnets kind of act funky with each other, and you can see it doesn't want to sit level. So that's an upgrade I want to do. I don't know if I can find a water jet company here or not, but yeah. So I built this to be ruggedized, right? And then I put it in the back of my trailer and drove it like 2,000 miles to Mexico. I haven't plugged it in yet, but nothing looks wonky. Oh wait, that's a little wonky, to be honest, now that I poked at it. All right, well, I'll check that. So before I turn it on, but yeah, we'll see how, because the trailer is actually bent out of whack from the trip. So that trailer just got abused, and that was in it. Yeah, I actually can confirm that that's all okay. That just had a little bit of play in it, but everything seems to be just fine. So I'm just giving you a little bit of a view of this. This is called the Milwaukee ProArt. It's got the Asus ProArt motherboard, and that's the tough level OC 4090. So yeah, everything seems to be pretty good. Like that whole unit, that doesn't move. So yeah, I think I'm okay to turn it on. My fan header, it actually it's just on with tape though. But other than that, it seems like everything is just fine. So yeah, the whole ruggedized thing process, and what is that? What did I do to make it rugged? Well, there's a whole cage. That's a whole cage inside of a box. And then all that's mounted with Loctite, or yeah, Loctite? Thread locker. The only problem I've had is this unit right here, this little drive bay here. Like the fan in that died. Like pretty recent, or not recent, but like it didn't last long it died pretty rapidly. But other than that, and that's just like there's not a huge variety of this kind of unit. Like, you know, to have like a little bay unit like that you can just slap into your computer. There's not a bunch of options. So I ended up with that one, and the fan died. But I have software that monitors the drive temperature, and there's no issues. Because this thing's like a giant wind tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Like, these fans are blowing in, those are blowing out, that fan is blowing in. And why is that random fan there? Well, because you have to have more blowing in than blowing out. And my original plan was to have the GPU mounted differently, so it would be blowing out, but I just couldn't do it. Like, yeah, I should have redesigned my cage a little better if I would have got my cage out. But this kind of lines up with the bottom of the box, where the bottom of the box gives me the most room. So anyway, that's just a little mini PC update, because, you know, here it is, and you have to be like, what the heck is that he's plugging all that stuff into? Well, now you know. But that's the cleanest it's ever looked. All right, I have had this thing off since the 13th of January. It is now like the oh no, it's March 1st, I think. Yeah, it's March 1st. It's like over a month. Let's see if it's gonna start. Will it start? Do I have it plugged in? Ooh. It's like a rocket ship. Check it out. We have got a pretty decent cord situation going on. I would say that's pretty decent. There's nothing really dangling. And that's, you know, you're trying to avoid the dangle. I got a little coil action there because unfortunately it was 4 inches short, so I had to put a little extension cord there to go 4 inches. So, oh well. And then I've got my main power. Oh, I was gonna do that a little tighter to that, so that went down with that, but oh well. Basically, it goes up and down over there next to the case, so it pretty much just hides everything. The power supply velcroed to the desk. I maybe didn't need was that like a 10 pack? Maybe I didn't need a 10 pack. I could have gone with the 8 pack or a 5 pack or something, but it seems to be okay. I actually put some Velcro on the cord into the Velcro spot. I might stick a little leg up under the back here just to make it less likely to get knocked over. So yeah, this is I think I spent, I don't even know. I went and I got the HDMI cable that I needed, and that cost like it was like 250 pesos or something like that. Like, subscribe, peace.
Thank you for watching my video.